When you're streaming for the first time and you don't have any viewers, you can't know when you're doing something wrong. So when you record a stream to upload onto YouTube and find out that your voice is being drowned out by the game you're recording, of course, the only sensible thing to do is record a new voiceover, do some editing, and upload an abridged version of the stream. Hi, I'm Arsenic, and this is what I did with a monumental cock-up. At the end of the last stream, I had just defeated the Skeleton King and stole his crown. Normally I'd use a scroll of town portal and go straight to Kane to identify my loot. However, I'd forgotten to purchase an extra one from Adria when I was last there, so I have to make the trek back to town on foot. So I made my way out of the Undead King's lair. I still have some room in my inventory, so I do some more exploring. I run into some skeletons and make quick work of them, earning myself a level up. This level up lets me learn the spell Holy Bolt, a spell to disperse the evil energies of the undead. With my mana pool, I can use it maybe 3 or 4 times. I explore a bit more of the Labyrinth, encountering some more of the undead, and I experiment with Holy Bolt. It works wonders.
Not enough mana. Too much baggage.
I decide to head back to town after failing to pick up an item. Identifying items and selling them would earn me some more gold. Once I exit the Labyrinth, I make my way to Ogden, the Tavern Keeper, to inform him of the Dead King's defeat. I then go to Kane and get my undead crown identified.
My friend. Stay a while and listen.
It has one major property, lifesteal, allowing me to heal from every strike. A boon to be sure, but likely to be outclassed in the future. At this point I go to Griswold and sell my unwanted items, clearing up my inventory and begin the long process of preparation for delving into the dungeon. I go to meet Adria for some scrolls of town portal, and then Pepin the healer for some health potions.
What ails you, my friend?
Before heading back to the dungeon, I have a quick word with Ogden, and he relays a tale of demons that came in the night and stole his sign. Interested in this, I go around town and speak to the residents about this.
Stole Ogden's sign, you say? That doesn't sound much like the atrocities I've heard of, or seen. Demons are concerned with ripping out your heart, not your signpost.
See that this strange behavior puzzles you as well. I would surmise that since many demons fear the light of the sun and believe that it holds great power, it may be that the rising sun depicted on the sign you speak of has led them to believe that it too holds some arcane powers. Perhaps they are not all as smart as we had feared.
Can't a fellow drink in peace? No. You know what I think? Somebody took that sign. They're gonna want lots of money for it. If I was Ogden, well, I'm not. But if I was, I'd just buy a new sign with some pretty drawing on it. Maybe a nice mug of ale. Ooh, or a piece of cheese.
My goodness, demons running about the village at night, pillaging our homes. Is nothing sacred? I hope that Ogden and Garda are all right. I suppose that they would come to see me if they were hurt.
Good day. How may I serve you? Oh my, is that where the sign went? My grandmother and I must have slept right through the whole thing. Thank the light that those monsters didn't attack the inn. Psst, over here.
What? Is he saying I took that? I suppose that Griswold is on his side too. Look, I got over simple sign stealing months ago. You can't turn a profit on a piece of wood. I sense a soul in search of answer. No mortal can truly understand the mind of the demon. Never let their erratic actions confuse you, as that too may be their plan.
After I've picked the brains of all the townsfolk, I go back to the cathedral and head straight to level 3 to clear it out. After exploring, I encounter a unique skeleton, Skullfire. I defeat him quickly, and he drops a magic cape that I'll sell when I see Griswold next. Shortly after, I find a purifying spring that restores my mana, and I loot some more chests. Once I'd confirmed the floor was cleared, I marched to the stairs to the next level. Once entering the 4th floor, I immediately see a large amount of skeletons behind a barrier. I open the door, and apply the Wolfenstein method, defeating them one at a time using their doorway as a bottleneck.
Too much baggage.
Afterwards I take some loot, and do some inventory management.
Too much baggage.
I then battle with a new enemy on this level, Shadow Beasts. They are small, wretched things that swarm and overwhelm. Fighting takes some time because of my mace. The enemies in this game have 3 types: beasts, demons and undead. The beasts are weak to slashing and stabbing weapons, like swords, daggers and bows, but are resistant to blunt weapons like maces and clubs. The undead are weak to bludgeoning weapons, but are resistant to slashing and stabbing weapons. Back to the game. I kill some more beasts and discover a bookcase. I inspect it, and it drops a spellbook of Firebolt. I already know this spell, but I have the magical capacity to upgrade it with the book to level 2. Then I go back to grave robbing. I then find a crypt with a book, guarded by many beasts and skeletons, so I retreat to the doorframe to limit their ability to surround me. After the battle, I read the book on the pedestal. It tells of the Great Conflict, a war between heaven and hell that began before the stars burned in the sky and continues to this day.
Take heed and bear witness to the truths that lie herein, for they are the last legacy of the Horadrim. There is a war that rages on even now, beyond the fields that we know, between the utopian kingdoms of the high heavens and the chaotic pits of the burning hells. This war is known as the Great Conflict, and it has raged and burned longer than any of the stars in the sky. Neither side ever gains sway for long, as the forces of light and darkness constantly vie for control over all creation.
This was renamed in later entries to be the Eternal Conflict, which I think is a more fitting name given the nature of the war. It's not long before I find the demons that stole Ogden's sign. The Fallen One's snot spill demands that we kill the big uglies that took the sign they stole. I wanted the sign back for Ogden's sake, but they don't need to know that.
Magic! Go past corner and door, find uglies! You give, you go!
I'll go around the corner and explore, and find a new bow and magic ring. Then I meet him.
Please, no hurt, no kill. Keep alive, and next time good bring to you.
Garbad the Weak is waiting in a dark corner of the dungeon, a goatman that isn't immediately hostile. Speaking to him, he begs that we don't hurt him. In exchange, he promises me a good item. I spare him for now, and keep exploring. I then find the big uglies and slay them, along with some other creeps drawn in by the fighting, earning a level up. I find Ogden's sign stashed away in a chest, but I have little room in my inventory to store it. So, opening up a portal to town, I head back to the hamlet. First I go to Kane for identifying my looted magic items, and then to Griswold to sell. The ring I found was cursed, causing my armor class to be reduced significantly. I sell it for a single gold piece. Griswold tells me of a magic skyrock bound for the east by a caravan, but that it was raided by bandits. He says that he investigated the wreckage, but couldn't find the stone, and asks us to keep an eye out for it if it's in the labyrinth.
Riders, just north of here along the roadway. I searched the wreckage for this skyrock, but it was nowhere to be found. If you should find it, I believe that I can fashion something useful from it.
I speak to the residents about what they know. Kane calls it the Heaven Stone, and that it was supposed to be studied in an enclave in the east.
Stay a while and listen. Griswold speaks of the Heaven Stone that was destined for the enclave located in the east. It was being taken there for further study. This stone glowed with an energy that somehow granted vision beyond that which a normal man could possess. I do not know what secrets it holds, my friend, but finding this stone would certainly prove most valuable.
Adrius says the stone is powerful, and would only let Griswold use it.
The Heaven Stone is very powerful, and were it any but Griswold who bid you find it, I would prevent it. He will harness its powers, and its use will be for the good of us all. Psst, over here.
Wirt just says he admires Griswold's work.
If anyone can make something out of that rock, Griswold can. He knows what he is doing. And as much as I try to steal his customers, I respect the quality of his work.
After some preparation, I go back through the portal to grab Ogden's sign.
Something for you I am making. Again, not kill Garbad. Live and give good. You'll take this as proof I keep word.
I find Garbad again, and he gives me some new armor. While it has better stats, I decide not to equip it, as it could be cursed. He may be cowardly, but denizens of the Labyrinth should not be trusted. I go back to exploring and slaying monsters, and fight another unique foe, Spine Eater. He has a large posse with him. To prevent from being overwhelmed, I drag the fight on, holding a steady retreat, killing his friends one by one until I finally strike him down. He drops what turns out to be a mighty boon for me indeed. I then go back to Garbad, but he still has nothing for me.
Nothing yet. Almost done. Very powerful. Very strong.
I go to the northwest of the dungeon and encounter yet another unique monster called Pulse Crawler, and switch to a sword I picked up earlier to make short work of his entourage. Upon his death, he drops a unique axe. My inventory is full at the moment, so I'll come back for it later. I open a portal and head back to town. I speak to Pepin first for some much needed healing and tasty potions. Then I speak to Kane and identify the two magic items I'd found, the armour given by Garbad and the falchion dropped by the Spine Eater.
Stay a while.
The armour is a good replacement for my current set, granting an improved armour class. The falchion is a massive boon to my current condition. It boasts a plus 12% chance to hit and a nice 3% lifesteal. I sell my unwanted gear and head back to the portal before remembering that I still have Ogden's sign. I give it back to him and am rewarded with the Harlequin's Crest, a unique helm perfect for mages, granting a plus 2 to all stats, a reduction in damage by 2, but it has a minus 3 to armor class. However, I'm a warrior, so I keep the undead crown and sell the crest.
What can I do for you?
I sense a soul in search of answers.
I go to Adria to check her stock and spend half of my gold on a book of town portal. This will allow me to portal back to town without the need for spell scrolls, but I purchase a couple just in case. I'll go back to the crypts and collect the unique axe that dropped earlier. I return to Garbad the Weak one final time.
Can't use this yet.
It's too good for you. Very powerful.
His greed takes over and refuses to hand over the item he promised, and he becomes hostile. He attacks, but is quickly put down thanks to my new blade, although I was expecting a lengthier fight.
I'm not impressed.
He drops a spiked club, but I'll get it identified later. I'll go back to exploring and culling the monsters in the level. I'm lucky enough to find a magical shrine further in. Praying at the shrine, a message appears. While the spirit is vigilant, the body thrives. The shrine has given me a kind of a mana shield. While under its effects, when I take damage, my mana takes the toll, protecting my hit points. I crack on with the slaughter. I fight with some more skellies in a door frame with a spiked club that Garbad left me. I clean up the last of the nasties in the level before heading back to Snotspill. He's guarding the path down, deeper into the labyrinth. When I return, he is immediately hostile, and the rest of his kin emerge from their hiding places to swarm me. I loose a couple of lightning spells to eliminate the little imps. One by one, my falchion cuts down the demons, including Snotspill, who drops to the floor like a sack of potatoes. Now that the demons have been cut down, I collect the loot dropped by the fiends, notably a Book of Town Portal. I already know this spell, so I decide to sell it when I next get the chance. This is when I try to cast the Town Portal spell, and find out that I don't even have the maximum mana to cast it, so I use a scroll instead.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
I get Kane to identify the axe and sell my hard-earned loot for a tidy sum. The axe, called Stone Cleaver, boasted a plus 30 HP, plus 20% chance to hit, plus 50% overall damage, and a hefty 40% bonus to lightning resistance. I prefer swords and shields, so I sold it and went back to the dungeon. I go down the stairs to the catacombs.
The smell of death surrounds me.
The scenery changes, no longer the uniform chiseled stone of the crypts, now the dark, roughly hewn cobblestone halls of the catacombs. The path down to the next layer of the labyrinth is immediately available, but the townsfolk will rest easier knowing that I was thorough in my quest of extermination. I encounter two new enemy types, the Stalker, a type of demon that blends in with the shadows, and the Gargoyle, a creature that turns to stone to heal or to hide in plain sight. I find a book of telekinesis and stumble upon a cross-shaped structure. At the door in the southwest end of the structure, I am attacked by a new monster, the Horned Demon, a large brute with a single horn that likes to charge in huge bursts of speed. They fall just the same.
And so, locked beyond the gateway of blood and past the Hall of Fire, valor awaits for the hero of light to awaken.
Inside is the Book of Blood, which begins a new quest, Arcane's Valor. To do this quest I need to find blood orbs and place them in a nearby pedestal in order, each orb opening a new door. The third orb opens the way to the main chamber that houses more horned demons, but more importantly, the legendary armor known as Arcane's Valor. I open a portal to get it
May the
identified.
spirit of Arcane protect me.
The new armor grants 25 AC, plus 10 to vitality, minus 3 damage from enemies, and fastest hit recovery. This means I can recover quickly from flinching. Equipping the armor changes my in-game model, a natural effect of using better equipment. I then sell my old gear to Griswold, and the spellbook to Adria, and head back to the Labyrinth. With Arcane's Valor equipped, I continued exploring, fighting gargoyles, levelling up, and clearing rooms of stalkers. I also find a blood fountain, its magical properties healing my wounds. Levelling up improves my maximum mana, allowing me to use the town portal spell. I explore a bit more, fighting a creature called Shadow Crow, killing it and stealing the staff it drops. Soon after I find the magic rock for Griswold's quest, and a convenient shortcut to the surface. Handing the Heavenstone to Griswold, he fashions a ring called the Empyrean Band, and Cain identifies its properties.
Let me see that. Aye, it is as I believed. Give me a moment. Ah, here you are. I arranged pieces of the stone within a silver ring that my father left me. Ah, I hope it serves you well.
It adds +2 to all attributes, plus 20% to light radius, a fast hit recovery, and absorbs half damage from traps. This is when I ended the stream. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to follow me on X and Twitch. The links will be in the description. If you enjoy this format over me simply uploading my stream, let me know in the comments. Until our next adventure, see you then.